Hi there. This is a time lapse for a 2002 Dodge Dakota. This is a 4.7 liter that we swapped the engine on. Day one was spent getting everything kind of unbolted, getting the radiator out, draining the fluids, unbolting all of the stuff, getting the air conditioning compressor rolled out of the way, and getting all the stuff that you need to bolt on. Now, a couple things I did that were really useful. One is labeling everything you can with masking tape and a Sharpie, and the other is make sure you have a ton of Ziploc bags handy, and every time you take a bolt off, put it in a Ziploc bag by itself or with the part that you took off, and label what it was. So, front left bolt to the alternator, whatever it is. Make sure you label them, put them in Ziploc bags. It makes everything way, way, way better when you go to put it back together later on and you're not looking around and you don't have a big giant pile of bolts that you're going, hey, what does this bolt go to? So anyway, this is pretty much day one. Like I said, spent just getting everything ready and kind of disconnected, so we're ready to actually go ahead and pull the engine out of the truck. Note we did remove the hood as well, which made it a lot easier. So day two, this was the only full day we spent doing this project. We spent a half day, I think on Thursday, and then we spent this whole day Friday, and then a half a day on Saturday getting everything, put back together and in the truck. We had everything pretty much ready to go to pull the old engine out. You can see we swapped it there, and then we put it onto an engine stand, and we started pulling all of the old parts off. So, basically getting the timing cover off, the oil pan, the exhaust manifolds, all that stuff. Basically anything that was going to need to get put onto the new engine, valve covers, all that stuff. So we started pulling all those parts and prepping them, cleaning them. The exhaust manifolds need to be cleaned up pretty good. There was plenty of trips, over to O'Reilly Auto Parts for, different bolts, sensors. There's a lot of stuff. So by all means, I don't think you're going to be able to do something like this without having to make, a few runs down to the auto parts store. So be prepared to do stuff like that. I will tell you really quick, I got this replacement engine from a company called Accurate Engines, which is out of Michigan, and the sales guy was really, really cool. They were really great with everything all the way up to the point of getting my core deposit back for my old engine, and that one took pulling teeth to actually get them to send me my deposit. And I finally had to threaten to go to the Better Business Bureau, and then they sent me my check. But before that, all the way up until that point, they were really great. Just really irritated. They kind of dropped the ball on me at the end. Anyway, we got everything off the old engine, swapped over pretty easily. Everything fit really great. The gasket kits that came with the new motor were awesome. The most difficult part we had, and we spent a good part of the latter part of this day doing, was once we got the engine down into the engine compartment, was getting it to mount back up with the transmission, getting all the bell housing bolts in place, and getting that to mate up perfectly. There's a lot of funky brackets on this. It is a four-wheel drive, so there was a certain bracket that had to fit on the engine, the transmission, and the transfer case, all three at the same time. That was a ton of work. You can't see, but my brother spent a lot of time underneath that truck trying to, wedge and shim and push the transmission to get it to line up with the engine. But eventually we got it, and once that was lined up, everything was ready for day three, which is when we're going to put everything back on and see if it fired up. So day three went really, really smooth. This was really just the morning, not even really a full day at all. And this was just bolting everything back in place. So radiator, air conditioning compressor, getting the plug wires ran back in place, all that stuff that we undid the first day. Everything was labeled, so it was really not difficult to put everything back in place. We did put in some new radiator hoses, things like that. Overall, this went really smooth. It fired right up once we got all the fluids in and everything ready to go. It will smoke. The new one will smoke just a touch around the exhaust manifold for about a day or so, but that's it. Other than that, it ran like a top. I was really, really happy. So if you have any questions or comments on this project, go ahead and put them in the comments section. And thanks for watching. Cheers.